160
She
hours.
did what I didn't want her to do. She rented out to a construction crew.
Sleep for 56.
That was down because of something they had to do with the company rented it. We said no smoking. It took 2 months to get the smoke out. We kept $1,000, $800 in their security deposit. Because you know, I said no smoking, and the place stunk. We had a clean, nice place. They didn't care. Buffing away, it was in the bed. Everybody. Oh, it does. It was in everything. And so we had the people going to clean, put aerators in there, wash them 20 hours. Yes. And of course, that company said, next time tell your guys, first of all, you never rent another 10 for drive. Butts all over the place outside in our lanai. Oh, yeah. They don't respect it. See what I said?
Because they knew they never had to be.
Well, they're construction guys, don't give a crap. They're working for a company temporarily down here, so they don't care. They go to the bar, you know. They're just guys that don't give a flying crap, and I do. So normally families or somebody else is traveling on holiday, especially from other countries, we have got to be great.
Plus, it's right where you want to be.
Yeah.
It's still in the process. You gotta figure that out. I'm gonna take probably 3 It's good. I did make 138.
Okay, is that on, Garrett?
Yeah.
That's live right now? Okay, folks, we're getting started if we can. Okay, because we're going to change the format, so welcome. We have 3 guests that are here, actually 4 guests. Antonio, I'm kind of doing this as a guest again. Okay, coming here for the first time, so I want to thank you for coming, so I respect your time, and we hope that you get a wealth of information. If you need, Ernesto, a notepad during the meeting, you let me know, we'll give you some paper and a pen, because you're going to learn a lot tonight. Now, don't get, yeah, right now we'll do it to you. Okay, so I want to set the rules though. Okay, first of all, if you have, who's got a phone here? Anybody got a phone? Okay, I got one too. I would like you to shut it off or put it on silent, and so you're not disrupted and we don't catch you texting. Because the rules are, if we catch you texting while we're all speaking, we cut off 1 finger at a time, slowly, so you scream loud. Okay, because we want your attention. Okay, fair enough, and not that kind of attention. Because you're going to learn a lot, but you don't want to be distracted. Because this is all about, what you're about to see is about Empower. Everybody's going to give a part of the meeting, and they'll give you what the company's all about. But I just want to deviate for 1 second, because I've had some experience lately that's blown me away. And I want to just talk to even people in the business that have been working this. Because you're here for one of 2 reasons. You're here about our services. And frankly, I'm telling you that everybody needs what we have and do. Because Matthew, this is the money business. Everybody needs money. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and everybody doesn't know that most of the people that you know in this world, including your mom and dads, don't know the rules of the money game. Fact. No question about it. And because of that, we just continuously hide and we live our lives. And it's so fundamental to everybody. Why is it that we don't choose to pick up the knowledge about how money works? Because money doesn't care who owns it. It only cares what you do with it. Is that true or true? Sure. Eric, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Are you sure? Oh, she was thinking something about something else. Okay.
I know the nod counted.
Well, nods do. In fact, that's great. Let's set the rules now, because Byron likes to say this all the time. If we ask you questions, or you ask me a question, you all expect an answer. Is that right or right?
Yes.
Great. Well, here's the truth. Okay, this is a Byron line. See, if we ask you a question, we expect you to participate. Well, everybody, and not with just a nod. Fair enough? Thank you, Erica. You brought that up. So listen to me now. See, I had a heartbreak today. Unbelievable. 2 of them. Because of people that I have a regard for, that I happen to know of, and they embraced this company for some help. And the truth is, they got up real close to trying to get educated and stopped themselves out of fear. Stop themselves out of fear, and then out of ignorance. How many of you would think that that's pretty poor? Okay? You don't let fear control your life, and most of you do. The acronym for fear, F-E-A-R, stands for false evidence appearing real. The antidote for fear, and trust me when we tell you this, because as a coach, and we've been a coach for a lot of years, we understand how to penetrate fear. See, if you're a leader, guess what you always are? You're fearful. If you're not fearing about stepping out there and making things happen, there's something wrong with you. Fear is okay, but most of you shut down with fear. So the antidote for fear, anybody want to know the antidote? But that's raising your hand. You're supposed to say, yes, I do.
Yes. I want to know.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Okay, you want to know, Ernesto?
I want to know this.
Okay, good. Okay, you got to participate. Here it is.
Oh, okay.
Do the things you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. Matter of fact, Erica, did you ever jump off a high dive?
Not yet.
Oh, I can't. Who wants to take her to a high dive and throw her off? Right. But you really haven't?
No.
Matthew, you ever?
I know this thing.
Okay, you're deprived, by the way. We have to talk about your background. Woo! No. Right. Most kids have always jumped off a high dive somewhere or another. And the reason I describe that, Erica, if you can trust my opinion, I think, who in here has been on a high dive? Anybody? Okay, great. Then you'll all attest it.
I don't know what's a high dive. What is a high dive?
Okay, it's on a pool, and it's a dive.
Oh, the thing.
Yeah, but a real high one.
Right. I've done that.
Okay, good. But now they'll attest to this because I'm not asking them to do it. Right? Here's the deal. When you went on that, how many of you had your big toes curled around the edge of that thing and you're just looking down going, whoa, not me, not now, right? And you wanted to run back there. And here's the deal. When you're looking down, you can't tell where the water starts or stops, and you can't tell where the bottom is because it's blue, it's clear, and you're going, whoa, and it looks a lot further than it really is, so you're freaked out, and your toes are like curling that board. And then there's a little fat guy waiting to go next, going, come on, jump! And you got 3 people on a ladder waiting, so now you got that pressure. Am I right or right? Anybody remember that day? Right, so you're there, and then there's peer pressure. Peer pressure, which you all submit to, you silly people. Okay, and so then all of a sudden, somebody's either going to push you or you just finally get the gumption to jump. You were so fearful, you almost had to pee before you jumped. Am I right or right?
Right.
Okay, here's the question. After you jumped 2 minutes later, where were you?
Right on.
Fact. Did it again. See, remember, let's do it again. Do the things you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. You got to learn to press through, press on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In life. And when it comes to the money business, my goodness. I had 2 people today that are very good people stop themselves from changing their lives. Just like that. For no good apparent reason, and then they froze. They told me what they couldn't do instead of what they could do. And I'll give you the example later time when I close on one of the examples on numbers. Mind-boggling. It doesn't make any, it flies in the face of common sense. So how many of you would love to learn common sense of money where nobody could ever argue with you about anything? Anything. You can't have an argument. There's not a debate nor a discussion allowed when you know what you're doing. And you can have another opinion and it doesn't count. How many people in the business agree to that statement? See, you know how many people I've challenged, Erica, in this room and other rooms and said, if you got something better than what we're talking about, please educate me and put it on the table right now because I'll do it. We have goals. Here's what we have goals on. We want to work independently. We don't want anybody trying to tell us what to do, when to do, how to do it, and give us and dictate to us where we have to be, when we have to be there, and then put a thumb on us and pay us just enough to pay our bills. And we just keep showing up just to get enough to keep doing that over and over and over again. How many people agree with that statement? Okay? Here's what we do. We can't stand that when you work so hard, you're giving your money all back to the government. What? First of all, I love my country. Let's make that clear. How many people love the country? Okay, I don't like my uncle. Anybody with me? Okay, now, and you hear all about election now coming up in 2 weeks and all that kind of stuff. You can't fix Washington unless we get rid of everybody and start brand new. Hello, this country's a mess. I don't know about Peru. I know this country is. Now watch. Here's what I can tell you. The country's got more debt than any other country in the world. Okay, $17.7 trillion at this point. The United States has got more debt than it's ever had before. Everybody know that? So they're managing your money. How are they doing? Is that a laugh? Okay, then fire them. Okay?
Is
Now,
it $17 trillion?
$17.7 trillion. You can't, Ernesto, you don't even know what a million's like.
No, I don't think so.
Imagine, and then you go to the billions.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you go to the trillions.
I think 17.
Yes! Okay, Ernesto got it, man. Okay. Looks like how many people want to go Peru? We're going to Peru, man. All right, now watch. See, what's back?
I got something real quick.
Yeah, real quick. I'm overtime already.
How long do you think a trillion seconds is?
All right, go ahead and do your thing.
31,000 years. 31,000 years. Paul showed me this right there. 31,000 years. That's just think about that number, trillion.
And you're only going to be around for like 85 of them. That's called legacies. See, drowning in debt. This thing is from the Wall Street Journal. I think that sucks. How many of you agree with that? I do too. I think having no money for your retirement sucks. How many of you think that way? I think having to pay taxes instead of have tax-free sucks. How many of you agree with that? See, that's what you're going to learn about. And you're going to learn how money works and how to free it up. That's what it's all about. Attack debt. You see, we said it on the phone last week. I don't know how many people caught it. The irony is the contradiction in life. Do you know life's all about contradictions? Hello. How many of you realize life's all about contradictions? You fight it all the time. Life's a contradiction. Life says one thing, you do another. Sometimes it makes no sense. Other times it does. Now watch. Watch. I'm going to give it to you. How many of you got a credit card? Right. How many of you want a credit card? No? You don't want anything, right? No, you want one, Matthew? Listen, watch this one. See, you want one? Here's the deal. In order to credit, how many people want a credit rating? Okay, right. You want a credit rating. Do you know, Matthew, you got to go in debt to get a credit rating. How smart is that? I agree with you. That's the rules. That's the contradiction. Does it make sense? No, but that's the game, and everybody submits to it. What? People are drowning in debt. It's bigger now than it ever has been. The average credit card's got over $15,000 to $19,000 on it right now. Ridiculous. And people didn't take them out to get into debt. But it's plastic, and you use it, and then things come up, like emergencies, like your transmission, or you got to put a down payment on something, or whatever it is. Birthday's coming, Christmas is coming. Oh, I don't have the extra money. Whoa. And you go and use it, and then you pay the price for it because you can't pay it off on time. Then this just came out Sunday. You ready? I'll get to you, Matthew. Wait a minute. How bad can it get? You see this? This, Erica, does this look like a mood swing to you?
Oh, mood swings? Yeah. I'll deal with those girls.
All right, she took herself right out of that class. Did anybody pick up on that? I don't deal with those girls. Okay, right. So here, the truth is, look at this. Listen to what the guy says here. Brett Adrian says Wall Street pros are sounding an alarm. This could be much worse than regular correction. Look at this. This is in September 19th. This is the Dow Jones. This is October 17th. August, September, October. In 3 months, the market dropped almost 1,000 points. How's your money doing? I know I lost in one investment. I got $2,000 because of this. In fact, Paul just moved his granddaddy's money in 3 weeks. His granddaddy lost $40,000. Correct?
Yeah. Warren Buffett lost $2 billion today.
Ask me if I care about that.
We always say he's such a smart investor.
Well,
even the smartest guys still lose money in the market.
Big time. And you know what? His $2 billion is like your $100.
Oh, I know. But it's not profitable more than that.
Well, that's big. He's hurt, right? So we just want to get to your heart to stay open, take a lot of notes. You're going to hear about the company. Here's what we're doing. We're going to talk about math, and we're going to talk about our story. It's all about the math. Math doesn't lie. You do. How strong is that, Matthew? See, people lie all the time, and they believe their own lies. They're unbelievable. We're here to smack them right in the face with the truth, but with some class. But we don't put up with nonsense here. How many of you can tolerate that? Some people can't because they think it's too bold. We don't. We don't have any time for being bold. Because guess what? I'm the oldest guy in this room right now, I think. What are you shaking your head yes for?
I'm really young.
Okay, right. Yeah, you're making me really old. How are you doing? Yeah, he's an old fart. I get it. Right? So in any case, here's the deal. And I said this before. See, time is more important to me than money, personally. Why? Because I'm in my 4th quarter. None of you are. See, this is ironic, Garrett, because all of you are starting out, and I'm winding down. That's just reality. So we happen to be where you were a long time ago. I'm telling you right now, you want to get your life straight. Get your life in order, get your house in order, and do your house right, and you can live a good life. You don't have to live with stress. Debt causes stress. Debt causes health problems. The issue about money can grow and learn to do with it if you want to learn. So you're going to hear all about that later. So it's about the math. And then you're going to say, it's too good to be true. How is that? Well, we're going to tell you the story. There's a reason why we exist. It's a reason why Empower got in business. You're going to hear the story, and it's all going to make sense. You're going to go, wow. Then you make a decision. Do I want to be part of that? Can I do that? Because then you're going to see the business side of this. So you're here for 2 reasons. Services. You all need it. You know how many people we've had here every week, and they walk out of here and still do nothing? I had a couple sit right there 3 weeks ago. I want the living benefits. You'll hear about it. They walked out of here. They don't have them. I'm telling you, something's going to happen to that. I can feel it coming. And when it does, I'm not showing up to give them any sympathy. They have the chance to fix their lives right now, and they're not. Ask me if I'm responsible for them. No.
Not anymore.
The debt, they're ravaging in debt. They're going to some lawyer to negotiate and steal all their money instead of just doing a system on their own that would take all along. But ask me if I care. No, I don't. See, I care about people in general. It's up to you. It's for those that are willing to listen, Erica. If you're willing to hear it, we'll teach you. If you're willing to do, so I'm a coach. If you're willing to do exactly what we say, when we say, how we say it, related to this business, you're going to be able to make over $100,000 for the rest of your life, and probably a lot more, because that's the business we're in. Antonio, that's why it's a team. That's why people show up. That's why you plug in. You got to plug into everything. Why? Because you're going to I promise you this. I'll bet you for a year, and I don't care what you want, how much you want, but you tell me the amount and I'll sign it. Whatever that amount is, I'm going to bet that for one solid year, every time you show up, you're going to learn something new. Something new from everyone, not just from us, from everybody. Somebody's going to say to you, oh, you're going to get a head snap. Anybody know what a head snap is? Oh. How about when you sit there, you go, oh. I love those wow moments. I call them head snaps. Whoop. And head snaps here often. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring up Cody, who's brand new in our business, about maybe 6 months.
Serious for 3.
I'd say 2.
Yeah.
But Cody's great. Give Cody a nice round of applause.
Thank you, Coach. I'm Cody, as Coach just said. I am brand new, and we're going to start with a story. We're a consumer advocate, Empower, Lighting Your World, right here on the screen. And does everybody know what consumer advocate means? Who knows what consumer advocate means? Erica, Matt, what do you guys think it means?
Advice and support consumer.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. Consumer advocates, what we do. It's spot on. We give the best advice that works best for the consumer. We always say there's a gallon of milk at Walmart and there's a gallon of milk at Publix. It's the same exact gallon of milk. And Walmart sells it for $1 cheaper. What gallon are you going to buy? You're going to buy the cheaper gallon. Why wouldn't you? It's cheaper. It's what we do. So these magazines, they're out all the time. We get all sorts of issues. They're all, go to right to this front door there. Consumer advocate. They're everywhere. This one, all about growing your savings. That's weird. That's what we're here to talk about. This is brand new. Consumer Reports. It's looking out for people that are interested in cars. They're looking out for the best between a Ford Taurus and a Lamborghini. There's something for everybody out there. So that's what we do. Now, where do we start? You got to know where we started to know where we're going to finish. So we started right here in energy. There we go. So what did we do with energy? How did we get started with that? Well, what we did is as a consumer advocate, we went and were able to help people with their energy bill, save money on it. That's simple. When you guys get your energy bill, who's it from? Yep. Is it ever going to be from somebody else? Or has it ever been from somebody else?
No.
Not yet. That's because we have one. We have one person we pay our energy bill to all the time, FP&L. So what the energy business is doing, what we're able to do is we're able to find in the states where it is deregulated, there's about 14 or 16 of them, I believe, 14 states where it's deregulated. You're able to go to the consumer and be like, hey, listen, do you want to pay Texas Power and Light, or do you want to pay this? I'm not sure the company. What company's in Texas? Do we know? I know.
Summer Energy.
Okay, Summer Energy. Or do we want to use Summer Energy where you get the exact same energy, but for simply a cheaper price? Why wouldn't you do it? So that's where it all started. Energy gets deregulated. We're able to have options. People get options. Options are good for the consumer. Next ties right in with energy is Utility Advocate. Now, Utility Advocate is a separate company that we are able to work with, and we are able to help people to do things such as auditing. And every time you hear auditing, it's like, oh, that's a scary, scary word, because anytime you've ever heard auditing, it's related to a scary
Taxes.
right. Right, exactly. And that's not really it. What we do with this is, like, everybody goes to Panera Bread and you swipe your card. You know what those are called? They're called merchant accounts. Now, those merchant accounts, they use a fee for that. Every time you use it, that company gets money from Panera or whatever company it is from you swiping their card. Simple as that. what we're able to do is go into these companies and help them save money because of things they don't know, of overpayments over the time they've used this merchant account. We're able to go in there and tell them, listen, you've been overcharged. And the company overcharging them isn't going to tell them they're overcharging them. Why would they do that? It's money. But sorry, it is my first time, guys. I'm a little nervous, so
Don't be sorry.
now, with the business side of things, Utility Advocate is awesome. We have we just went over it in our Thursday calls, where there's a lot of money to be made. Now, it's not a whole lot of work. You simply use this company right here as your upline, for lack of a better term. You simply fill out a piece of paper and go, listen, this company's getting overcharged, and they can go in right there, send it to FEG, I believe, or whoever it is, to Utility Advocate, and they will pay you out. And we're seeing a ton of people use this. It's very easy to do, and it's really awesome to do because it doesn't take a whole lot of work. You just got to know what you're doing. So as Steve said shortly, how do I get back? This right here. As Steve said a minute ago, we work with debt. We have the best debt program in the country. And debt is everywhere. You see it everywhere. You see it all the time. Does anybody in here have debt? Probably all of us. I know I do. It's something that is causing people to have health problems. It's causing families to get upheaved and lose their houses and everything, you name it. Like I said, we're saving people from just detriment amount of debt. And the software we have is your life. You'll hear it all the time. There are softwares out there that do the same thing as far as debt goes, but not what we have. It goes with your life. So what we have is, Byron always uses the example, is if Ernesto, if you were to take me out to dinner tonight, and I had this software on my computer ready to rock, I simply slide the card, or you slide the card, and it goes right into your debt. It tells you exactly what to do next. It's GPS to your debt lifestyle. Just like the car, GPS, the same thing, but for your finances. It's pretty neat. So, for example, another example, you're driving down the road, and your GPS tells you go left. What do? You go left. Why do you go left? Because you don't trust where you're going. That's why you have your GPS plugged in. So that's what this does for you. It's absolutely outstanding, and I'm actually very new to it, and I got to see it revolutionize some people's lives. We have a bunch of stories between our agents, and you're seeing people transform their debts from 27 years into 6, 5, and on average, it's about a third. And you got to think mortgages, you got to think car payments, you got to think credit cards, you name it, and they're all out there, and it's for anybody, anywhere. So it's something that's huge. No. Am I playing the video? No, sorry.
I'm just going to click back on that. Click the back arrow. No, financial services.
Now, what we're really here for tonight is the financial services part of our company. All those 3 branches led up to what we're able to do for you guys tonight, what we're able to do for people all around the world, and is really our huge crusade behind what we're doing. Financial services is the highest paying industry in the world. Why wouldn't you want to do it, right? But what we've been able to do is help people with retirement. We've used the debt to help people with retirement, and it's become a crusade with living benefits. We're able to use that in helping people's lives. Financial services is a huge branch, and it's a very misunderstood part of part of the world's money problem. In order to understand financial services, you got to understand how money works. Now, that's the key. If you don't know the rules, you can't play the game. So from there, I'm going to go into the rule of 72. Super powerful stuff. I don't know if have you guys heard of Albert Einstein by any chance?
Yes.
Pretty smart guy. What slide is it?
7.
7. Here we go. So how many doubles using the compounding effect of money? Now this is how this works. Take the number 72 and whatever interest rate you're working with. Say your credit card is 20%. You divide 20 into 72 and you get your rate. Now for easy math, if your credit card was 10, your rate would be 7.2. 72 divided by 10 is 7.2. You'll see that number come up again. But that's how it works. Again, you take the rule, or take the number 72, and it'll be divided into your interest rate. Now this is an example we're going to use. The age is 23. I don't know if we have any 23-year-olds in here. Do we? There's one. Now, 2%. Does anybody know the average interest rate on a bank account? Paul, what is it?
Savings account, money market is about, right now I actually looked at it, it's less than 0.5%.
Less than 0.5%. Now, to put that in perspective, 0.5% in the 72 is at least 144 years for your money to double. At least 144 years to double. So, we're going to be generous here and give you 2%. Say it's in like a long-term CD, something a bank may or may not offer, a pretty generous one. 2 into 72 is 36 years. So about well over a third of the average lifespan it's going to take for your money to simply double. Now you see the amount there's $5,000. At 23, you have $5,000. Now, Ernesto, when you get $5,000, where initially do you want to put that?
$5,000. I would like to initially I would like to put it somewhere where I can double it or make it more.
Right. Usually a bank, right?
Well, yeah.
Just because it's what we, I mean, a lot of us would do it. I would.
Yeah, it's the easiest one. Well, you put it there and you have to work anything, just wait time.
Right. So let it sit in there. Because it's safe, right?
Yes, you take it.
So you get a 2%. I'm the banker and I need a 2%. That's what banks do. So you got $5,000. It's pretty easy. You had 36 years of 23. You get 59. So you're almost 60 years old and you have $10,000. Pretty neat. Another 36 years, you're at 95, $20,000. Now, what we like to say after this is woohoo, because at 96, $20,000 gets you a whole lot of nothing, Frank. So, a little bit better here. I opened up my own bank, like Cody's bank, great bank, by the way. We're going to give you a 6% interest rate on your money, okay? So, what do you think we're going to have? Now, you're cutting down the years by a third as far as growing, and you're adding 4 percentage points. So, what do you think we're going to have, Ernesto, at the end of when we're 95 years old? What do you think we're going to have?
I'm going to have 60,000. Am I correct?
What do you think we're going to have, Erica?
Oh, I don't remember this one. It was 20,000.
Matt?
More than 10.
Okay. Now, I'm the bank, so I'm going to let you guys keep that money, but I can get the rest. Is that fair? I'll even throw in like a laptop. Is that fair? Okay. Well, I'm doing it anyway, so this is my bank. So we're going to do the math. 35 as opposed to 59, which you guys see, correct? Can you see over me? Sorry.
Yeah, I see.
47 at $20,000. So you're almost half the time. Well, yeah, actually, you're over half the time it took right there. 59, $40,000. So Ernesto, I just made 20 grand off you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then I'm in the clear now with you guys, right? And $320,000. It's pretty nice. I get all that money. Now, the next example is going to be a little bit more realistic in terms of market. The average return on the market is about 9%, give or take, and we're going to give you 8 here. Okay, so this is pretty close to a realistic, perfect world scenario. What do you think we're going to have? Same scenario. You're 23, $5,000. This time we've only added 2 interest points, and it's cut down 3 years.
Oh man.
Now remember, we had $320,000 last time. What do you think we got this time?
When we are 95?
When we are 95.
Man, I don't really know how the math works. I'm gonna say
Just take a guess. It's all right.
450.
$450,000?
1.3 million.
1.3 million?
2.5 million.
2.5 million. Man, it changed a little bit right there, right? That's just 2 percentage points. All right, we'll see how it plays out. So notice the time it's taken for your money to double. It's going pretty quick, right? Now this is where it really compounds out. 640, and then we're left with almost $1.3 million by 95. So that's pretty good. You guys walked out, you guys robbed my bank. But so we like to ask the class, A or B? You can answer B, of course, right? That's where all the money's at. That's what we do. Go where the money goes. So we like to call this legalized extortion. It's just theft. A bank is, you're going into a bank and you're giving them $5,000. Go, hey, take care of it for me. They're like, oh, that's no problem. We'll give you 2% on your money. They're turning around investing it 8%, and they're making well over $1.2 million on your simple little $5,000. They did give you a laptop, but this legalized extortion. It's not right. It's unethical. It's not even. It doesn't make sense. Now, with the Rule of 72, that was a perfect world scenario, and I'm going to bring up Byron to lead us into what happens in a loss, and to give you guys a little bit more knowledge on an unperfect world in which we definitely live in. So with that, Byron, I will give you the leeway into our loss of the year. All right.
Well, another round of applause for Cody there. That was good. All right, so like you said, that was I'm Byron, by the way. You guys probably, Matthew knows me, Erica knows me, Ernesto, Antonio. Okay, so that was the perfect world. And I just screwed it. Oh, I got it. Never mind.
You break it, you buy it.
Apparently.
Here you go, Byron.
Nice. Here, you want to help me out there?
It should be all right. You just gotta exit out of the, just hit escape,
Yes. We'll let him talk out while you try to straighten
and then now just go back in.
Here we go. Okay, so that was the perfect world. That was, your money doubling on top of each other without having any loss or anything like that. Now what I want to show you is the Rule 72 is a 1-year loss at just 5%. So for mathematical reasons, we're just going to make it, you're getting a 7.2% interest rate. So your money's going to double over 10 years. You got that, Ernesto? So 7.2% just for mathematical reasons, 10 years your money's going to double, okay?
Yep.
So you got a one-time investment of $1,000. See the money compounded over top of each other. So at the end of 10 years, we got $2,000. Boom. Okay, now I want to show you what happens to your money when you have a 5% loss in year 2. Okay, because the market goes up and down, all right? You don't just gain every day, right?
Right.
Okay, Erica, right? Right. Okay. So with a one-time loss we have in year 2, there we have the same $1,000. Now it's doubling, same as year 1. Boom. 5% loss. Right off the bat. Double it, compound out. We'll go down to the same thing in about 10 years. Erica, what's different about this number right here?
Like 11.8%.
Oh, you've seen this before. We're going over the same thing. We'll have some different stuff in a second. But what's different there? $1,776.
What is different that from what? From the
This.
2,000?
From right here.
It's $224.
Does that sound like 5% to you?
No.
No. It's 11.4% you lost with a one-time loss on year 2 of 5%. Why is that? Because losing money is much more detrimental than people put emphasis on. Warren Buffett has a rule, and I know he lost a lot of money today, but Warren Buffett has a rule that says, 2 rules actually. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, look at rule number 1. Okay? A 5% loss in year number 2 is actually 11.4% loss over time because you've lost the purchasing power of that dollar. All right? Does that make sense?
Could you repeat it again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So right here we have $1,000, the same we have right here. All right? We lose 5% in year 2. So you've only lost 5%. Now we're compounding out the exact same rate we had before, In year 10, $1,776 to $4,000 is actually 11.4% loss. But they told you you only lost 5%. So what they tell you, you're actually losing more. Does that make sense?
Now it makes sense.
Okay. So that was obviously the perfect world. That was 1 year loss. Let's show what a retirement plan actually does. And this just shows even if you compound over another 10 years, it's still 11.4% loss. And this is the grumpy cat of finance, which we like to call Garrett when he grows out his beard, which he has right now. So this is an example of a retirement plan. Does anyone in here have a retirement plan, by the way? 401k, 403b? Any?
No,
You don't have anything?
I used to have one. I just started in Shell.
You used to have one? What happened to it?
Well, I quit my job, so
Okay, so
yeah,
you
my money again.
So example of retirement plan. That was the perfect world. So I want to show you something real quick. We're going to show, here are the facts. We have a guy who's 35, or a woman, 35 years old, for 30 years investing $500 for 30 years at an average rate of return of 10%. Matt, what do you think he has? After 30 years.
1.2 million.
1.2 million. How about you, Ernesto?
Wait, when he's 65?
Yeah, when he's 65, he's just invested for 30 years at $500 per month. He's getting 10% return each year.
Each year?
Yep. Ballpark number.
$1 million?
Million. Okay, we'll see what it is. This is, by the way, when you go into, I was watching a video a couple nights ago, and this lady, she's sitting there, she works for Ford, and she said, my broker told me if I invest so-and-so, such and such amount of money for so many years, by the time I retire, I'm going to have $1 million. She's 2 years away from retiring. She has $500,000. She's not even she's barely halfway there. So at this rate, you will have, and they will show this to you, you will have just under $1.8 million. Pretty nice number, isn't it?
Very nice.
You want that?
I would love it.
You want that?
Are you including broker fees and taxes?
Calm down. We'll get to that. It's a nice, pretty number. It's a nice blue number that we talk about. But we need to talk about reality. We need to talk about what happens in life in the world today. We don't live in the perfect world, right?
Right.
Matt, is the world perfect today?
No.
No. There's a lot of things that are imperfection about the world, especially the United States right now, but we'll get into that another time. So here's reality. First thing we got to talk about, market loss. We're going to show you a 5 and a 10% market loss here. Page this on. Ernesto, can you help me out here for a second?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at reading, so I just want you to read it for me. Can you read? This is the S&P 500 right here. Statistical facts of what's happened in the S&P 500 over the past 12 years. First 2 years, can you read those off for me?
Yep. The 2000 is minus 10.14%. You want to read the whole line?
No, just this.
Just that? Okay. And 2001 is minus 13.04%.
And this one?
And 2002, 23.37%.
Negative?
Negative, yeah.
Negative. So over the first 3 years, you just lost 3 years of double-digit numbers. So you put your money in here where they said, great, great. And then boom, 10%. Boom, 13%. Boom, 23%. Just shoveling out the door. Shoveling out. Bye-bye. Then we got, a couple years later, then the next year, the market goes up 26%. Good, that's great. 2004, we got 8.9%, okay. 2005, we have 3%, which is just barely above inflation. 2006, we got 13.6%. 2007, 3.5, once again, right there with inflation. 2008, what's that number say?
Minus 38.49%.
Minus 38.49%. Erica, if you were 60 years old and you had a qualified account, you are 2 years away from retiring, 1 year, whatever you want. So you got $1 million in there. It's pretty nice, isn't it? You just lost 38% in 1 year. You just lost $380,000. Boom. How are you going to gain that back before you retire?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So Out of that, out of the S&P 500 over the 12 years, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 losing years at double digits, and then we have a 3%, a 3%, and a 0%. So you have 6 years where you don't even beat inflation, let alone make any money. Okay, so I'm letting you know that because that's the facts, and that this right here, we're being ultra conservative. Am I right, Ernesto?
Yep.
This is very conservative. So over 30 years, we're showing you only 2 years of market loss. When I just showed you over 12, where you have 4 of them being double digit. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm showing you very, very conservative numbers. So there we go. There's that. Then we have fees and commissions. You got to pay the average broker because Broker Joe, let's say you start a 401k, we're going to call him Broker Joe. You're going to take your lifelong savings and you're going to slide it across the table and you're going to say, go play with my money. Who has all the risk when you do that?
Me.
You.
Of course.
But you got to pay him, right?
Yeah, I gotta pay Bro Joe, yeah.
What if you lose?
It will be sad.
But did you hear that? He's going to be sad. But you still got to pay him, right?
Well, yeah.
So if you win or lose, you still have to pay the broker. And you have all the risk. They love you. They love all of you. Because they get to go play. Imagine going out in the playground and going and play with somebody else's tennis shoes, somebody else's clothes, someone else's playground, and you get paid to do that. That sounds pretty nice, right? Whether you lose everything or you win or lose, you get paid. I don't like that. So on average, 3%, we're showing you 1.5% right there. So we're being ultra conservative on that as well. Now, Erica, if I'm not gonna, Erica, you've seen this. I keep going back to you. Okay, Ernesto. Actually, no, Antonio. Antonio, if you have a 401k, who owns that?
Government.
Well, that's good. Ernesto, who owns that?
Yeah, I think the government.
They own your money?
Well, for now, until I finish my.
When you go to take that money, you don't want to be in ownership of your own money?
I want, yeah.
You want to, right?
Yeah.
Would you not agree that everyone that has a qualified account, when they want to go retire, they think they own their money?
Yeah, yeah.
But when someone goes to pull their money out, who do they pay first?
The broker.
The broker and
The government.
the government. This guy, sees. I'm going to move to Peru too, by the way. They're teaching them right over there. All right. So, yeah, you got to pay taxes, and we're going to be conservative about that too. You got a 25% tax loss. There's 6 tax brackets. The highest is 39%. We're going to show you 25% to be conservative. So after all that time, what do you think you have, Ernesto? After all the realities happen, so you got $1.8 million. You just had market loss of 5% and 10%. When I showed you there was going to be way more than that over 30 years. You got half the commission and fees, and you also have taxes. What do you have?
After, like, you're gonna have only like around 500,000.
Pretty good. You got $588,000, which means out of your hard-earned equity, you gave and paid others $1.2 million. How do you feel about that?
Not good.
By the way, everybody, we're streaming on live on the internet tonight, and so I'm going to ask people out there, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about giving $1.2 million to everything that you've earned, everything you were supposed to have? You just gave away $1.2 million. Paul, you want my $1.2 million?
If you're giving it away, I'll take
Let me
it.
guess what, you can't have mine. I'm sorry. So what we like to do here, this is called red line, blue line. But before we get into red line, blue line, I want to talk about some strategies that we can get away from market loss and all of those realities that we've been talking about. Anybody, you guys like sports in here? Like sports?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you don't like sports, too bad, because I'm going to talk about sports. I like sports. You ever heard of Bear Bryant?
Yeah.
Matt, you ever heard of Bear Bryant? Was he Alabama football coach? I'm sure you guys have heard the saying that he talks about. He's famous for saying that defense wins national championships, offense sells tickets. I know I said that backwards. Offense sells offense sells tickets, defense wins national championships. You agree with that?
Yeah, yes, but not 100%, I think.
If the other team can't score, who's likely to win?
If the other team can't score,
If their team cannot score, who's likely to win?
my team. But what if
So let me ask you again, do you agree with that?
yeah, but what if I can score either?
Well, then you tie, you don't lose.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, we'll have to
There we
agree.
go. So we in agreement?
Agree.
Okay. So we have the same philosophy with our financial strategy. We want a good defense. We want to have a good protection for our money. We do not want to lose money. Like I said, Warren Buffett's #1 rule, do not lose money. Warren Buffett's #2 rule, look at rule #1. So we're going to show you the defense and offensive strategies. #1, we had talked about. Market loss. #1 defensive strategy is market loss. We do not want to lose money. I do not want to be subject to that 38% loss that I had in 2008. I don't want to lose my money there. I do not want to lose anything on my principal, and I don't want to lose anything on my gains. Would you agree with that?
Agree.
You don't want to ever lose money, right?
Never.
Okay. #2, as we just showed you, commission and fees. They will eat away at your money. Average 3 to 5%. I don't want to pay 3 to 5%. I want the lowest management fees possible. You take all your money, Ernesto, and you pass it across the table to Broker Joe, who just goes and plays. We've got to pay him whether you win or lose, right? What if I told you you didn't have to lose and you didn't have to pay him half as much?
I will tell you, keep talking.
Okay. Well, then I guess we're doing a pretty good job. I guess I'll keep going, right?
Right?
Okay. #3, I don't want to pay taxes. Would you agree tax-free is better than tax-deferred, Erica?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they don't know what to do with their money, and places already going to crap, so.
That too, but I'm going to do a small scenario. Hold on, Pablo. I'm going to do a small scenario. I'm going to make a little imaginary thing here. You're all farmers. Okay? You're all farmers. You got your own farm, your own crops, your own seeds and everything. And I'm tax guy. I'm Uncle Sam. I come up to you. Ernesto, I tell you, you got 1 or 2 choices. You can pay on your seeds or you can pay on your crops. What do you want?
Seeds.
Yeah.
Good guess.
That was a guess. I don't know. Yeah. What if you grow a whole field of crops? You don't want me to tax all that. You want me to tax the little seeds that you had, right?
Right.
Okay. So taxes. Now, we got offensive strategy as well, because the defensive strategy is keeping our money safe, keeping us in place, keeping us away from everything that we are worried about in reality. Everything that the imperfect world has, we're defending against right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but if I'm going to put my money away, I want it to grow. I want my money to grow, because 2 things make money in this world. You make money going out and working, and money makes money. We already showed you the Rule 72. Money makes money compound. You got enough money to be like Warren Buffett, you don't even have to work. It'll just compound on top of each other, and you got enough there. So I want growth. 2, if I'm going to have my money grow, I want it to be safe. Safety, #2. #3, if I'm going to put my money away for retirement, I want to be able to pull income. You want to pull income from your money?
Yes.
Yeah. You always got to, you want to pull, that's why you put it away. You just want to put it away and not pull income from it? You just want to just let it sit there? No.
No, of course not.
Exactly. So you want to be able to pull from it. You want to have income. 4, if someone has a 401k in here and they try to pull it before 59.5, what happens, Erica?
Isn't it like half or something?
How do you know? Matt, what about you?
Just fine.
Yeah. Antonio, you know what the fee is if you pull before 59.5?
13%.
Pretty close. Pablo.
It's at least 10%.
At least 10%. I've heard up to 17%. So what I'm trying to say here is, I want my money to be liquid. If I need my money before 59.5, I want it now, and I don't want to pay I do not want to pay taxes. I do not want to pay penalties. I sure as heck don't want to pay 10% penalty because I want my own money. If you go put your money away somewhere and they say, guess what, you want to pull it now? Okay, you got to give me 10%. How's that sound to you?
Sounds ridiculous.
I had a person today tell me, well, I don't plan on pulling it out until 59 and a half. I said, oh, really? I'm sure there's a lot of things you don't plan on, but guess what? Life happens, and life will keep happening throughout your life, right? It's life. If you become sick, Antonio, and you got nothing to pull from, but you need to pull that. Do you not want to pull it and grab some money without having to pay 10%?
I'd love to.
I don't plan on pulling my money until 59 and a half too, but guess what? Stuff happens. So I want liquidity. Number 4. By the way, pardon my handwriting. I was not an English major. Number 5. We're going to go back to taxes. When I pull my money for retirement, I don't want to give Uncle Sam a big part. Like Coach said, we love our country. We hate our uncle. I want tax-free. I don't want tax-deferred. I want tax-free. So those are our defense and offensive strategies. Now I'm going to go into here what we call red line, blue line. I'm going to show you how we get those offensive, defensive strategies in a second. Right here, this is the red line. This is the S&P 500. This is the actual rates of return of the S&P 500 statistically for the past 15 years up until 2012 of a one-time investment at $100,000. Follow me so far?
Yeah.
Erica, you kind of already agreed, but I'd like to politely ask you, would you agree that women are kind of moody?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of or a lot?
A lot of them.
Okay. Men in here, will we agree that women are a little... Matthew, your girlfriend, she's probably a great girlfriend, by the way. But is she a little moody once in a while?
I can't say that I'm aware of, I'm sorry.
Okay. You can't say it, but I'll say it. I have a girlfriend myself. She's moody, okay? I know from last week she's very moody. It just happens, okay? So here we go. The women's mood, we joke around and say is like the market. And I don't mean that to be offensive. I just mean it as in it's just no pun intended, but a little bit pun intended. All right? So here. It's her birthday. Yay! Ernesto, you hear me here?
Yeah, the birthday, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. It's her birthday. She's so happy. You forgot. Oh. You made her dinner. But you burnt it. You did her laundry. I don't do laundry, by the way. I know Pablo doesn't do laundry. You did her laundry, but you forgot to fold them and put them away. Boom. Okay, we like to talk about this as also. This is S&P 500, like I said. Circle, square, circle, square. You can guess what's going to happen next. Even a second grader can get it. Circle, square, circle, square, circle. Ernesto, what's coming up next?
Square.
Oh, Peru does. Oh, nice. They got better schooling than Americans. Okay, nice. Yes. So that is what most of our qualified accounts, almost 90% of Americans are doing right here. Does that seem like a good plan to you, Ernesto?
No.
Up and down, up and down, up and down?
No.
No. Can you read this number right here?
165.8.
Yep. So you put a one-time investment in right here at $100,000, and you went through up, down, up, down, up, down, and you ended up with $165,000. Does that sound good to you? By the way, he's just saying that because he sees the blue line. Okay, disregard the blue line. You just made $65,000. Does that sound good to you?
It sounds good.
Sounds good, right? Cody, what are we not telling people about this number?
It's a gross number, man.
Yeah, it's a gross number. Literally and funny, and pun intended. It's gross. Blah. Okay? Because back to what we just did, little recap on our lesson. What have we not done here? Antonio.
Then put in our fees.
Fees, okay, so let's talk about fees first. So, on average, 3%, right? That's what we talked about. That's on average. $100,000 over 15 years, boom, that's $45,000 you just lost. Go down to 120. Another thing. Matt, what's another thing we're not talking about? We'll get to that. Ernesto.
The taxes?
Taxes, there you go. So you got 25% on 165,000, you got another 40,000 to subtract, right? 40,000, 45,000, we're down to $90,000, people. You put in $100,000, and now you have 90 over 15 years, and they said you had 165. Does that sound good to you?
No.
You literally have less money than you've had put in. America's worst plan, but it's just perfect for people that don't want to listen. You step out of here today and you don't implement what we're talking about, like Steve says. I'm sorry, but I'm not. The blue line right here. This is what we're going to talk about next. The blue line. This is what we want you to do. We don't want you to do. We show you, and whether or not you want to do it or not, go ahead. Blue line. Just came out in 2005. 2000 actually, perfected in 2005. Just came out 10 years ago. But before I get into that, I want to show you how it came about. Tell you the rules of how it came about. You know what indexing is?
Indexing, no.
You don't know what indexing. You want to know what indexing is?
Yes.
Hey, you want to be a walk around at parties? I do indexing. Right?
Right.
Right. You ever have somebody walk around at a party and they talk about something you have no clue about? You go, "Ooh."
All the time.
Yeah? I do it all the time. I'll be the first to say it. I walk around, I'll tell you something people don't know, and I act like I know. But this I do know. Indexing funds. So, John Bogle, he was a typical buy, sell stock guy. When people say they time the market, do you believe them?
When people say what?
They can time the market. They can time this right here. They tell you they know when it's going up and down, up and down.
I don't believe them.
You don't believe them? That's probably a good thing because you don't know when Obama's going to sneeze and come up with a bull line.
Right. Maybe they have an idea, but they cannot be for certain.
They might, but here, listen to this. So, after all, these stockbrokers that have equations, mathematical algorithms, whatever, okay, they say, John Bogle was one of them. He said, listen, I'm sick of this. It doesn't work. So what he did, indexing, went out and bought equal amounts of money in each single one of the companies in the S&P 500 and just sat on it for the entire year. Boom, 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 boom. Done. He beat 9 out of the 10 buy, sell, buy, sell. 85% of the time, indexing beats regular funds like that. After 5 years, 92%. White papers came out. Ryan's not here right now. Ryan's one of our very statistical, look up anything type guys. He came out. White papers, by the way, are theories and everything that's said to be true. They come out with statistics and tell you whether or not they're actually true or not. So white papers came out on indexing, and they said after 5 years, you win 92% of the time. Antonio, you like gambling though?
Yeah.
If I told you there was a slot machine right here, it said 92% of the time you win, would you do it?
Yes.
Man, I'd see Antonio over here going like this. Yep, I'd see him right there all day, right?
Yep.
Exactly, okay. I thought that was on the moment right
I'll be right
there. So we got, everybody get the offensive defensive strategies, by the way?
Got it.
All right. So, John Bogle came up with indexing. 92% of the time, you win. Ernesto, you know what loophole is?
Oh man, I want to sound like an ignorant, but I don't know that one either.
That's okay. That's why you're here tonight, right?
Yep.
50 years ago, there was a tax law, IRS tax code, which was a loophole. And a loophole is a way around something. Okay? So people make laws that say you got to pay taxes. The loophole says you don't have to pay taxes. Now, why is it that you've never been told that? Eric, why do you
know?
What's that?
Because the government doesn't want you to know.
Not that they don't want you to know. It's just more the fact that they make it so complicated that you don't bother to look it up. Eric, do you know how long the tax code is? How many pages?
Sure, it's like 1,000 or 2,000 or something else ridiculous.
What if I told you it was 93,000 pages long? You think anyone's ever read all of it?
No one ever read Obamacare.
That's true. No one ever will read all of Obamacare either. 93 pages long. 93,000 pages long. Pablo, how long is it going to take you to read 93,000 pages?
Too long. It'll take both of us like a whole lifetime.
And I'm living longer than you, so I know I'm not reading. I can't finish a chapter book. I still call them chapter books, actually. So, number 2, loopholes. There's IRS tax codes that we work with. They're actually 101 and 7702 that legally say if you wrap around your retirement plan around a life insurance plan, you can pull your money tax-free. Did you know that before you came here?
No.
So I'm doing my job. We're learning so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So IRS tax code 50 years ago, 101-7702. You guys might want to write that down because if you want to do any informational talk about or go research it behind, not tonight, then go ahead and do it and come back with any more questions you want. But 101 and 7702 are the tax codes we use. We use more. There's not one size fits all. This is just for this case. Legally allows you to have tax-free growth, tax-free income. Can you put your money away right now and let it grow and have it tax-free, Ernesto?
I didn't know.
I just told you right
Well, now
There we go. Okay. The third reason why this is available. 1999, there was a law. Trey, I know you know it. Matt, you know what the law is that says that that banks can only do banking, insurance companies could only do insurance, and stockbrokers can only do stocks, bonds, and mutual funds? You don't? Erica?
No.
Trey, go ahead.
Glass-Steagall Act.
The Glass-Steagall Act. The Glass-Steagall Act said that if you were a bank, you could only do banking. If you were an insurance company, you could only do insurance. If you were stockbrokers, you could only do stocks, bonds, mutual funds. You couldn't cross streams. Ever seen Ghostbusters? Don't cross streams. You never seen Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Okay. In 2000, they came out with an act called the Financial Modernization Act, which said, go ahead, compete. For consumers, it's the best for consumers. Go compete. So we have the Financial Modernization Act. Ernesto, who do you think won? Out of those three, we got banks, insurance companies, and we got stockbrokers. Who won out of that battle?
The banks.
Close. But Matt.
Insurance.
Insurance companies. Now, why is that? Ernesto, you got car insurance?
Yes, I got.
Have you ever claimed on your car insurance? You have any accidents? Are you a bad driver or are you a good driver?
No, I'm a good driver.
And how many times have you been in an accident that you have to claim?
Never.
Never? How many years have you been driving?
Like, since I've been driving in Peru, like for 15 years.
Since 15 years. You've been driving. They love him. 15 years you've been driving. You haven't taken a claim. So you keep paying premiums, but they haven't paid you anything yet, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, the reason why I say that is because insurance companies have 85% of the global wealth. That's why they are able to put stuff out that people can't do. I don't like insurance companies, but we sure as heck use them because they have all the money. So insurance companies won that battle, and that's when they came out with, in 2000, what we call an IUL. You ever heard an IUL, Ernesto?
I think you mentioned it when I met you inside. Or no, I meant, wait, you mentioned it, right? No, I don't know.
Man, I've never met you before I came in here, so no, I'm just kidding. But so yes, in 2000, the insurance companies came out with something. They legally came out with something that outperforms everything and can legally have something that gives you contractual guarantee. Remember how we talked about you don't ever want to lose your principal or ever lose your gains?
Exactly.
Okay, when you have 85% of the global wealth, you can give somebody that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so IUL came out in 2000. 2004 is when it was perfected because, you know, you come out with something new, you got to get the kinks out of it. So in 2004 is when it was perfected. You know what IUL stands for, Matt?
Index Universal Life.
There you go. This is one of the products we work with. Index Universal Life. It gives you three things. If you want to write these down, it gives you three things. Life insurance. I know it's disgusting. We don't want to talk about life insurance. We're young. Most of us in this room are very young. We don't want to talk about life insurance, but the fact of the matter is you need it. You never know what's going to happen. I was out in the car about a month ago with my roommate, and I had a green arrow, and I go to turn left, and he grabbed me and said stop, and the car was going through the red light at 80 miles per hour. He would have killed my roommate in the passenger seat and probably killed myself. You need life insurance. If life insurance was free, how much would you have?
All of it.
There you go. Life insurance. You also have living benefits, which we'll have Trey come up and talk about in a second. You also have tax-free retirement. Now, Ernesto, I want to talk about this blue line right here one more time. Do you see how this line, as the red line goes down right here, you see how this, what's this do right here, this blue line?
It goes the same. It doesn't go down or up.
Flattens out. Okay? That's the reason why this is because the insurance companies contractually guarantee you never to lose a dime. So when the market dropped 22% in 2001 to 2002, you didn't lose anything. You were credited 0%. Because in an IUL, you are credited between 0 and 14%. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay? So if the market goes up 30%, how much are you getting?
Oh my God. It's,
I just told you. 0 to 14%.
40% of how much?
14%. If the market goes up 30%, you get 14%.
You get 14% out of it. Yeah.
0 to 14. All right? So if the market goes up 13, you get 13. If the market goes up 6, you get 6.
Yeah.
If the market goes up 20, you get 14. But if the market drops like it did here, you get credited 0. All right? So you have right there no losses. So let's play it out. So the market dropped down there. Now it's climbing back up. You're climbing back up with the market. You're right here. The market crashed. Boom. These are actual numbers. The same $100,000 investment over 15 years of the actual S&P 500. Now the market starts climbing. You're up here at $211,000. What is that number, Cody?
It is a net number.
That is a net number. That means that this right here is including your fee, which is minimal compared to the 3 to 5%. It is also tax-free. You get $211,000 compared to what we talked about here. You only get $90,000. Does that sound like a better plan to you?
Definitely is.
So you get, and I'm going to erase this here. I'm going to cap up here. Let Trey come up and talk about living benefits. 0 to 14% on your money so that when it grows, you never lose a dime. I'm going to give you an example real quick, and I'll recap up and get out of here. If you have $100 in some fund or whatever, and you gain 100% on it, you now have $200, right?
Yes.
If you lose 50%, you are now down to $100, right?
Yeah.
What's your average rate of return, though?
Well, I wouldn't 0 because
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 100% minus 50% divided by 2, because you did it for 2 years, you have an average rate of return of 25%.
Wow.
But you haven't gained a dollar. You see how powerful losing money is?
Wow.
So, like I said, you get 3 things with an IUL. You get tax-free retirement, life insurance, and living benefits. And no one talks about living benefits better than Trey Carter. And so I'm going to pass it off. I'm done. Thank you for bearing with me.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's pretty cool. You learned some stuff today, Ernesto?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Learn anything new, Erica? Not one new thing? I'm sure you learned something
I
there.
learned that the 0 to 14%.
That's great. Not losing money is great, right?
It's also capped at 14.
Yeah, but if you don't lose money, when you do Rule 72 and you compound money on a larger number, you're going to get a larger number. Remember the 5% loss? It's because you have a lower number.
Go over the returns and see how many times it went over 14.
2 times, right? That's great. I don't care about that, because what happens if we don't make it to retirement? What happens if we get ill? What happens if you die? So we're saving for retirement. Byron said you get 3 things with the IUL. So we're going to save for retirement. So that's great, because we should be thinking about our future. And if we aren't, then we're going to remain broke forever. But like I said, what happens if we don't make it? What happens if we become ill? So in an IUL, you have the life insurance, which we all know what life insurance is. You die, they pay. But then we have something called living benefits, which you guys know. We were in your class, you know about it. Everybody in here basically knows about it, and necessarily the only one that really doesn't. But But Erica and Matt, I'm kind of upset with you guys because you know about living benefits, right? You understand when I talk about it. Why are we not talking to people? Don't you agree that everybody needs to know about it? Why is this room not packed with people? The people we know, love, and care about most. Because I'm not going to let it happen to you guys because 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, my uncle had a stroke. So Ernesto, I'm going to explain to you what living benefits is before I get to it. Excuse me. So, Ernesto, if life insurance is you die, they pay. So say you have a $100,000 death benefit, right? So you're going to die, they're going to pay you $100,000, correct?
Correct.
But what do you got to do to benefit from that? You got to die.
You gotta die, yeah.
Right? That sucks.
No, so no.
Right? All right. But in the case, actually, do you know anybody, by show of hands, anybody in here knows someone younger than the age of 65 that's had a heart attack, cancer, stroke, and still surviving? Do you know anybody, Ernesto? Heart attack, cancer, is a form of cancer, or stroke, still
Cancer,
surviving?
yeah, cancer.
Still surviving? Everybody's hands went up, by the way, just so you know. Everybody's hands. And it's a fact. 7 out of 10 people are going to have one of the big three before they even turn the age of 65. 7 out of 10. There's 10 of us in here right now, a little over. That means 7 of us are going to have one of the big three. And that's just the facts, people. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. Garrett's stepfather, 2 weeks ago, had a stroke or heart attack.
Congestive heart failure.
Congestive heart failure. 2 weeks ago. How old is he, Garrett?
He's 61.
61, okay. My grandfather, my uncle, 44 years old, had a stroke 2 weeks ago. My mother had 2 at the age of 44. My dad had one. I lost a grandmother to breast cancer. It's everywhere. And what are we doing to protect ourselves? People out there in TV land, what are you doing to protect yourself? What if we don't make it to retirement? Because what happens when you become sick, Ernesto, and you can't go to work for a year?
You need money.
You need money, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens if you don't have money? You go bankrupt? You liquidate your savings. The people that do have qualified accounts, they're, oh, I'm okay. What happens when you liquidate it, and then, okay, you're all right, but then you have no retirement? What are we doing to protect ourselves? Because it's a fact. If 7 out of 10 people are going to get sick, don't you think we should do something to protect ourselves, protect our families, the people we know, love, and care about?
Yeah.
Because I'm passionate about this. I'm very passionate about this, and I'll stand by this till the day I die. And I put that on my life. Because I'm passionate, and I've seen it happen in my own life, and I know it's real. So what living benefits is, Ernesto, is if say you have a $100,000 death benefit, right? They're going to pay you $100,000 when you die. When you die, all right? In the case that you become critically, chronically, or terminally ill, so, heart attack, cancer, stroke, what we just talked about, they will advance you 90% of this $100,000, so $90,000, or however much your death benefit is. So, do you understand? Does everybody understand?
Yeah,
You get it?
I'm there, yeah.
So when you become ill, and that's what this IUL that we've been talking about all night, which, it's not one size fits all, but for majority of cases, there's nothing better, period. To protect yourself, to protect your family, because for God forbid, I do not want to be a burden on my family, period. I don't want to be a ward of the state either. I don't want to be dependent on this government. I want to protect myself. I want to protect my future. So the reason this came about is because there's a lady, the Bernard brothers. They started open heart surgery. And they did a lung transplant for a lady, a younger individual. Went well, and they told her, look, you can't go to work, period. You can't go to work. So she came back for a checkup a couple months later, and she looked horrible. The doc said, what are you doing? She said, I'm working, doc. And the doc said, whoa. I told you not to work. You're going to go back into remission. And she said, I have a family to provide for. I got 2 kids. I'm a single mother. I don't have a choice. She ended up dying. And she had life insurance. And they paid the life insurance when she died. So what the Bernard brothers did, they went over to the UK where they have big influence in the insurance companies. They said, look, we're over here saving people, and you're over here killing them. Insurance companies are what you call a legal reserve company. When you sign the contract, they have to have 103% of the money that they owe on liable claims at all times in their account. So that money is already sitting in their account, and they're going to pay you when you die, period. It's been there since day one. They're going to pay. And they said, that money's already sitting there. Why don't you give it to them when they can use it the most? In the case they come critically or chronically or terminally ill. You're going to pay them, so why don't you advance it? And that's where the 90%, they'll advance you 90% in the case that they become ill. Hence, that's where living benefits came about. Could you think of anything better, Matt, Erica, to do for somebody to provide for somebody, to help them save for retirement, not give all their money to the government, to protect their futures in case they do become ill, in case they don't make the retirement, in case they have premature death, their families are covered. Could you think of anything better to do for somebody? You guys came to the right place. We need to take this a little more serious. You guys don't realize how blessed we are to be able to do this for people, because there's 2,700 different insurance companies and only 18 provide living benefits. And we work exclusively with 3. That's the great thing about being a consumer advocate, is we can shop around and do what's best for the consumers. In this case, it's living benefits. There's nothing better, period. Period. And I said it. I'll stand by it till the day I die, and I will do this till the day I die, and I will be changing people's lives, because I make a profound difference in people's lives. And I hate myself because I didn't talk to my uncle. I tried. And I let him give me the excuse. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Well, bull. He had a stroke, and right now I should be delivering him a check for 50 or 100 grand, and I'm not. And I don't like it. And I don't want it to happen to anyone else. Garrett, I know you feel pretty crappy. Excuse my language. Don't you feel pretty bad?
Oh yeah, I sat down with him, before he moved up north, and we had the chance to write a policy right then and there. Wanted to do it. He's just like, I lost my job. Just give me a couple months. I touched base with him again, saying, hey, I believe in this, and I believe in what it can do for people. You're my stepdad. You're my family man. You take care of my mom and my little brother. It's like, it's a big deal. And he was like, oh, I just don't have the time and the money right now, and so this is what's happening. And right now, he would have had a $100,000 life insurance policy. He only had it for maybe a couple months, and for him it was going to be $56 a month for a simple $100,000 policy. He would have got a check for $90,000 right now.
You talked to him since?
I've spoken to him a few times, yes.
What's he have to say?
He knows it, because he knows the power of what could have been if things would have went differently, and he just kind of feels bad now. He's kind of stuck in what do I do now mode.
Exactly.
Because we don't know if you'd ever, because you do have to qualify for life insurance, we don't know if there's anything we can do now. But
exactly. And that's why it's crucial, and why I said I'm upset with you, Erica and Matt, because we need to go talk to the people that and care about. It might not be for them, but at least you did your part. At least you tried. Because I failed, and I hate myself for it. I hate it, and I'm not going to let it happen to anyone else, ever. Ever. Period. You don't want to save for your future, great, but you need living benefits. I've never had one person tell me that they don't. Ever. Ever. So what could you do better for people? Because we ain't Broker Joe over here stealing his money and going to blame with it. We're doing something great for people. We're doing something great. So people might be here, services is for everybody, period. But there is a business aspect to this. This is an opportunity. This is a blessing. I seen this, and I immediately ran with it. Paul, tell him real quick, before I even get into this, you saved your grandfather, he lost $40,000, correct?
Yep. In less than 30 days, he lost $40,000. He had about $260,000 in his IRA, and he lost about 40 grand, taking him down to like 220.
So he lost a bunch of money. What'd you do for him, Paul? We tell everybody?
I moved his money where it's secured to never lose again, and he's also guaranteed income and growth for the rest of his life.
So he's guaranteed to never lose money again.
Yeah, and me moving his money, he didn't lose a dime.
All right. Now, people here for the business. Paul, you want to tell them how much you got compensated? Because I'll tell you right now, I do not do this for the money. Obviously, to be a functioning member in society, we have to make some sort of income, and it just so happens to be that this is the highest paying industry in the world. That being said, Paul, you want to tell them how much you made in a matter of 4 hours?
$13,000.
$13,000. $13,000. Come on. People out there, I don't even know what to say.
You all right in that stuff?
No, I'm not. I haven't made that in all year.
Right.
All right. That being said, Ernesto, how long does it take you to make $3,000?
Oh my God. I'll say almost 2 months. The more people read.
You say 3 months?
3,000? 2 months.
2 months? Erica, you work 2 jobs. How long does it take you to make $3,000?
Profit, never.
Is that better? Matt, how long does it take you to make $3,000? Not profit, just make $3,000. Everybody has bills and expenses, I understand that.
Probably the job I had a year.
A year? Oh, wow. Okay, you should join this business for sure. All right. My question for you, Ernesto, Erica, and Matt, are you going to exchange 3 months? How long did you say? However long. I guarantee you it's not less than 3.5 hours. Are you guys going to exchange that for 3.5 hours?
Oh, of course.
That guy right there in the back of the room made $13,000 in 4 hours. Again, I don't do it for the money, but look what he did for his grandfather. His grandfather's never going to lose money again. He's got guaranteed income for his entire life. And this kid got compensated on average $3,000 an hour.
And it also, moving the money doesn't cost anything.
No, we do not take a dime out of the customer's pockets because the insurance companies have billions of dollars in capital and they own 85% of the world's wealth. They can afford to pay us out of their own pocket. We're not taking a dime from the customer. Did you have a question, man?
It was related to what you just said.
How many?
You paid him.
The insurance company. The insurance company paid him. His grandfather's money he did not get compensated off his grandfather's money. He got compensated from the insurance company because they literally same, yeah. And even, you know, if you get an IUL, you pay your simple premium. We do not get paid from your money. We get paid from the insurance companies that have billions of dollars in capitals, and I don't feel sorry for them because they can afford it, period. So, at a BP contract, I'll explain what that is here in a second. It's not hard to get to, but our average client spends $300. And keep in mind that $300 is not out of pocket because everybody has already been sold the wrong things, and we're just simply replacing it. They're already doing the wrong things. And we're just there to educate them and give them a choice. A, this is what you are doing, or B, this is what you could be doing. You choose. So the average client puts away $300, and the insurance company at a BP contract will advance you $3,000. So like I said, Ernesto, you willing to change 3.5 hours for 3 months?
Yes.
Does anybody want to object to that? I seen your hand up, man. You got a question?
No, you said he wants to do that, and I
No. All right. Now, this is a business. And me personally, I love to help people, but I want to start an army. I want to put Southwest. I want to put everybody in the country. I want everybody to have the equal opportunity that we have to make the kind of money Paul's making. I want everybody to do it. I want to go build a business. I want to build an army. So that being said, Erica, Ernesto, you guys know you got friends, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
You got friends, right?
Definitely.
Erica's looking at me like she wants to kill me.
I told her she didn't have any friends.
I have a couple of acquaintances.
Couple of acquaintances.
I don't have time
So
for friends.
who in here is content doing what they're doing? Let's put it that way. You're content doing what you're doing, so you want to go to school and work 2 jobs for the rest of your life?
I love my job.
And that's what you want to do forever.
I'm gonna progress and get school and do.
But you're not content right now, right?
I am content, and I'm just gonna make it better.
I don't think you're content. But if you're not content now and you're gonna make it better, technically you're not content now because you want to make it better.
Are you happy right now?
No, I'm not content with what I'm doing now. I want more. I want to be somebody.
So you go home sad every day?
No, I'm a very happy guy, but I'm not going to be satisfied with past performances. I want to be somebody.
You are satisfied doing this. You're satisfied showing people what they need to see about the living benefits.
Of course.
You're out there
Of
helping
course.
people. So you're happy. You're
Of course.
satisfied. You just want to make it better. So therefore, yes, you are content.
But I'm content, but I'm not going to, all right, I'll get calm. You guys get the picture. Nobody's content doing what they're doing because I move furniture for a living, and when I say I'm not content, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do that my whole life, period. So, Ernesto, do you think you know 5 people, you have 5 friends that don't want to work at Shell anymore, that don't want to be told when to go to work, what to do at work, when they can leave work?
I think all my friends would like to.
Okay, so great. We got you. We got you. You're Big E over here. These markers, man, brutal. Oh, God. All right, we're just going. Ernesto, so you got a bunch of people you said that would be interested, correct? Because everybody, we all agreed, should know about living benefits, period, and tax-free income. Because I'm not going to give everybody my money, except myself. So, Ernesto, you agree you can show this to 5 people?
Yeah, I can show him, yeah.
You can bring them right here, just like Cody brought you. All right?
Why not?
Okay. So let's say, you think you can show this to 2 people a month? Just show exactly what we did. I'll do it with and for you. I'll do it for you. 2 people a month, easy.
That's good.
2 people. All right. And let's say you have a team of 5 people, and 2 of them are duds. You got Cody over there and Byron back there, and they're nobodies. But then you got Paul, Antonio, and Matt over here, who are doing pretty well, and they show 2 people as well. Okay. That's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8. And a VP contract, that's what your annual salary is going to look like.
Well, what happens?
When you build a business,
Okay.
you have a team of just 3 people, yourself at a VP contract, which is not hard to get to. You just got to get 3 people to do the same thing you're doing. 2 people is a month. And you do 2 yourself. So 8 total transactions.
A month.
A month.
Uh-huh.
So if you did that every single month for an entire year, that's what your salary is going to look like.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
6 figures is just all right.
I'm feeling good.
Great. VP contract. We stress out. Like, you want to get into it, Coach, real quick or not? VP contract. You got 90 days to do exactly that. Get 3 people to do the same thing you're going to do. That's it.
You got 90 days.
90 days.
All right.
90 days for 3 people to do the same thing that you're going to do. That's it.
So if you do those 90
I'll do it
days,
with it for you. Look, I'll help all of you do it. I don't care. If you want to be somebody, you want to be committed, and you want to do something good for people, I'll be right by your side the whole time. You get what you put into it. If you treat it like a hobby, you get paid like one, plain and simple. So if you apply yourself, you educate yourself, you plug in, Antonio, then you can make that 6 figures. What's up, Paul?
We're not gonna ask you to do anything we didn't do ourselves.
Perfect.
Real simple.
What's up, man?
What if you don't make your 90-day deadline?
Oh, you can do it off personal production. That's not an issue. Bottom line, you're doing great things for people, man. Bottom line.
You don't ever need to get anything.
Are there any negatives to the contract?
No. What do you mean?
to the VP.
No, there's no negatives.
I mean, at the beginning, he was talking about risking. What is the risk here?
You're talking about risking what?
Like you have to risk to.
The risk is you stay where you are.
Exactly. So my question was, is there any risk in the VP contract?
No.
No.
Making money if you consider that a risk, I guess.
Now, let me make it clear. I want to, excuse me, my name is Steve Young. Thank you for having me. Give Trey a round of applause. Hey, a couple things. Let's straighten that out, okay? There's many ways to get promoted. What Trey was just putting up there is we do have a 90-day program for you to have a fast accelerant to get there. So if you're coachable and you do exactly what we're supposed to do, you get the contract. Does that mean you know everything? No. Do you understand everything? No. You just got the top contract. That's what you want. So you can figure it out. We do have a track. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. You're in your own business. You get out of it what you put into it. Nobody's going to bust your chops here. You are self-employed. Now, we're a team and we work together. Does that all make sense to you all?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a system. You just plug into it and use it. Now, nobody's going to bust anybody's chops. There's some people that come in here and love the different aspects of our business. For instance, if you ask me what I do for a living, Ernesto.
What do you do for a living?
I profoundly make a difference in people's lives. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. See, now ask me what kind of profound difference do you make, Erica? I'm glad you asked. We rescue people from their retirement accounts. You see, most people have some kind of retirement accounts who work and they have no clue what they have. Now, if you don't think so, pay attention to the commercials they now got on TV. I love it. They're working for us. There's a Charles Schwab? Charles Schwab has a commercial on TV. It's got a little boy with his dad, and they're walking down the street, and here it is. I'll do both. I'll do the dad and the kid. The kid says, Dad, who is that guy? He goes, that's our broker. Really, what's he do? Well, he manages all my money. Really? Do you pay him? He goes, uh-huh. He goes, well, how much? And the father says, well, I don't know. He goes, well, what if you don't like what he's doing? He goes, I don't know. Well, what, can you lose money? Yeah. Do you still pay him? Yeah. Well, what happens if you lose money? I don't know. How much you paying him? I don't know. You know how many people don't know? How sad is that, Erica? It's really sad. Here's what happens. You get a job at work. They say, here, fill out your employment forms. Here you go. Oh, and by the way, we have a retirement program. It's great. Fill it out. And you do, because your parents didn't tell you. Nobody told your parents. They're not teaching this in schools, and you don't know any better, so you just process. I had a lady today, after we just did runs, that's supposed to be a pretty intelligent person, and I have a newfounded attitude about it, because I'm going to put it on the board for you real quick. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to show you, because we do all different aspects of business. Doesn't matter. You can do some of the business. You can do the debt if you want to. You can do the insurance if you want to. You can do investments if you want to. You can do commercial loans if you want to. We give loans. That guy back there that just made $13,000 also did a $45 million loan. If that thing goes through, he's buying a building.
A lot more than that. We're gonna buy a job too.
Cool. Can I go on it? And he doesn't even know the guy. And the application was 16 pages long. Now, we do a lot of different things. Utility, all of it. It's a consumer advocacy group. We're educating people about choice. A, this is what you're doing. B, this is what you could do. It's that simple. We don't complicate it. We're not real smart around here. Can't you tell? There are certain things that repeat 200 times. That's not one of them. Okay. So, are you all right, Gary?
Yeah.
All right, you fuzzy cat. Now, here's the deal. Okay, this lady was going to be in debt for 21 years. Got a mortgage, got a home. Still got student loans. Student loans. 34 years old, student loans. How many people think that's ridiculous? Okay? Why would you still have loans at 34? So guess what? Without spending any new money out of pocket, and we put the cost of the program in her debt, so it gets absorbed, so it's really no money out of pocket. Everybody clear about that? Out of debt in 4.9 years. Completely. Okay? Saved $40,000 in interest that she was going to pay the banks. How many people think that's great? How many people would do that if you knew that the system could do it? Not even interested. Can't believe it. Too good to be true. Really? Not only that, has no life insurance right now. No living benefits right now. None. Zero. Everybody clear about that? With us, no money out of pocket. We give her $450,000 of insurance and over $500,000 in living benefits. Her retirement right now is $11,000. Right now. We moved it. Showed her how to do it and how to make it work for her. Between now and 66, she does everything we tell her how to do it. She'll have $77,000 tax-free income at 66 years old. Right now, her money runs out in 4 years with her money where it is right now when she tries to take it. She's done. And she doesn't even want to talk about her program. TV land, get that? That's just flat. Now, see, what makes people think like that? I have no idea. What people get to fear is unbelievable. And this is supposed to be an educator. See, I will attack people that don't get it when they don't listen. And I don't come to me for help later because I ain't helping. Everybody clear about that? Yeah. See, some will, some won't, and so what? What bothers me is though that when you love people, or you like people, you're troubled with those kinds of decisions. And people are going to do it all the time because they try to. What? Erica, I don't understand it. Why would you not do something like that?
Well, I don't want that, so.
No, imagine having, well, she has a mortgage. See, listen to me. People with mortgages don't perceive that to be debt. They just think it's the way it is. What? Why would you finance somebody for 30 years? You could pay for 3 houses by the time you pay that off in the bank. It's the dumbest thing in the world to do. But everybody does it because they want a house and they authorize the bill.
Same with cars.
And same with cars. And guess what? This is what kills me. You know how much they pay to have that mortgage? They pay the bank like up to $5,000, $6,000 depending upon the loan to even get that loan, to go into debt. Yet you won't pay for a program to get out of debt? What? What? Make me understand that. It's all common sense. Now, Matt, can you come up with anything in your mind why you wouldn't do that? Overwhelmed, can't be too good to be true, can't believe. None of that is good enough. Zero. Everybody needs to take a look at where they're at, where they want to be, and where they're going. How many of you agree with that? And you got to learn how to articulate and communicate our business. So what do we do? See, so we have a crusade. We have a crusade to show people, we rescue people from the 401ks. Matt, please understand, your parents, everybody you know, if they got retirement accounts, they don't get it. Watch. How many fees do you think they're paying on their average 401k IRA mutual funds? How many fees do you think they're paying? Average.
Percent?
No, average fees. How many fees?
How many? I would say 5 fees.
5 fees! Now what made you come up with that?
I just.
You Peruvians are unbelievable. You're eating too many carbs. No, hot peppers? Oh, hot peppers, okay.
Guinea pigs.
What is it?
Guinea pigs.
You eat guinea pigs?
Oh man, they're good.
Man, the world is different, isn't it, man? We have some cultural differences. We don't eat.
And you're gonna get them when they're babies. No, I'm just.
Gary, you all right?
Yeah.
When's the last time you ate a guinea pig?
I haven't, but I'm thinking about trying it now.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's a point comment. Hey, people in TV land, he's a little crazy in the front. It's okay. He's Ernesto. He's from Peru. But we're having fun. Okay. Now I lost my thought. Where the heck was I going with that? What's that? How many fees?
Fees.
Oh, right, fees. Listen, the average fees, Matt, now take this home to the bank. The average fees that people pay in their 401ks, 12 to 16, and they don't know it. Why would you do that? No, and they don't know it. They think they know. Even the companies that give it to them don't know. Do you understand that? They're just employees that work in the company. We have videos in our back offices. We'll test it as Bloomberg Financial, multi-billionaire, one of the wealthiest guys in the country, paid tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce this, to have forensic audits done, to verify all the fees you're really paying and don't know it. And some of the companies are going, whoa, we didn't know that. Shouldn't you know it? They're just sleeping at the wheel. There's a bunch of reasons why things are going on. We teach you what they are. And all you got to do is become informed and then go out and share it with people. Not everybody's going to do this. It's not, see, the business is not for everybody. The services are. And yet, they don't do what they're supposed to do. His father-in-law, or stepfather-in-law, sat right in this room 8 months ago and doesn't have it. I feel bad for him. There's nothing. Hey, he's got to take responsibility. He let $56 stop him. There's 2 lies you all lie about. How many of you admit you're a liar? Raise your hand, Byron. You lie all the time.
I raised my finger because it was like, I lied sometimes.
You better just stand up. No. Okay, here's the deal, okay? There's 2 famous lies you all lie about. Ernesto, get it. And when you learn this, you don't have to lie anymore. I don't have the money and I don't have the time. Those are the 2 lies that most of you lie about all the time. Everybody's got money, man. It's just not yours. You got money for everything you want it for. I don't have the time. You're a lying dog. You have time for whatever you do. That's the facts. You do what you want when you want it. You're just lying all the time saying you don't have the time. Whatever you want to do, you can make the time for it. Am I right or right? Absolutely. Right. See, we know that. So we just confront people right up front. See, we're a no-nonsense company that is compassionate. We care about people. We have a dream. We have a crusade. We're not afraid to go chase it. People are in dire need of help. So we bump into examples like that and they don't do it. Boy, it just frosts me. It gives me more energy to go out and educate more people. And someday when I see these people go, hey, how's life working for you so far? No wonder you're broke. Hey, how's that job? Great. Enjoy it because you roll out, I roll over. Wonderful. I ain't going to be like that. And when I saw this over 30, 40 years ago, I thought it was too good to be true, too, until I found out it was all the truth. And I said, show me how to get that top contract and get out of the way. Now, 90 days, see, there's no way in hell you're going to get that contract with what you've been doing. You fire up and start plugging in, there's hope. And we'll set the clock for you, okay? Don't take advantage of it. Don't abuse it.
I will.
Okay, I get that. I hope you're telling the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll find out.
Yes, we will.
See, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to watch what you do.
Watch it.
Okay. See, we'll help you. Matthew, we'll help you. Is this right for you? I don't know. I heard that you don't make enough money right now. And money doesn't care who owns it, so we said all that. So here's the bottom line. You know what we do? We create for people what we call FIPs, financial independent plans. Everybody ought to have one. We fill out forms. We're going to ask the guests to fill out the form so we get to know what you're all about. So we can run an analysis for you. We're also going to ask you to fill out a questionnaire for us to tell us what you think we did tonight and didn't do, so we can approve and like to see that. But the FIP, it just happens to be, I don't know where this came from. This is Ryan Young's. And Ryan, you know what he's not like, see, 9 out of 10 of our people don't spend any new money out of pocket. Sometimes you got to spend money because you're not doing anything or you're doing the right things, okay? In this case, he had to pay $38 to get this. $38 a month. For $38 a month, here's what he has. The total is $211, but he only had to come out with $38 out of pocket. Now, he's got $350,000 worth of life insurance. He's 27 years old as of last weekend, okay? He's got living benefits of over $500,000, chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and for a retirement plan, for his income for the rest of his life at 66, he makes $103,753 a year tax-free. Would that pay your bills? I know, someone listening to you. Okay, $103,000 a year. He's a biologist for the state of Florida now and only makes $38,000 a year by the government. And they tell him what to do. He's a communist. They tell him exactly what time he has to be at work. They tell him that he has to have a retirement plan. They tell him he has to fund it a certain way. And he has no flexibility. He didn't know that when he took the job. I call him a communist. I'm going to get him a pink shirt for Christmas. See, you don't know this because you're kids, okay, to me. But back in the day when there was before the Cold War and there was Russia and all that, communists always wore pink. So we call them pinko, if you didn't know that. I just realized the other day, I talk to young people, they don't even know what I'm talking about. But a pinko communist. So I'm going to get my kid a pink shirt. Hey, you got one on you, pinko? Okay. So I'm kidding. If you have a sense of humor, if you don't, go die because you're going to do it. Okay. So how is that? Would you like to have an FIP done that? Wouldn't you like to have a plan? See, if you don't have a plan, you got nothing. And that's what the future's going to bring. And guess what? How young are you? 19. And listen, didn't you wake up yesterday and you were 7?
Yeah.
A little slow on that one, right? And how young are you?
I'm not that young. I'm 30.
Yeah, okay. I like the way he was hesitating on it. Right? So 30. Did 30 go quick?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, really. What's the next 30? Woo. Even goes quicker. See, if you got nothing now, you ain't having anything later either. You got to make a change. Erica, you got a personality, put it to use. Make it work for you. And you couldn't be in a better place at a better time, in my opinion, in order to have an FIP, learn how to do business and get paid. $13,000, when that hits his account, then you'll see an attitude. All of a sudden, you might see new hairs popping out of his neck or somewhere. But you see, that's pretty good. And that happens with this business, Garrett. It's just talking to people and not giving a crap and learn the right language. That's what we teach you. Does that make sense? Yes. So I'm wrapping up. What'd you like best about what you heard in that stuff?
I like everything the best. Well, there's been a lot of information, but
yeah, overwhelming, by the way. That's why you got to come back and keep learning. In fact, this is Erica's and Matt's second time they exposed themselves to this, but it was a big gap. And I think Erica had a meeting with one of them too. So you've heard some of this 3 times in a row, so it's starting to sink in a little bit. So, and you're going to learn something new all the time too, because we kept throwing new things at you all the time. So I want you to know that.
But I like that everybody was very clear about it, and like you said at the beginning, math doesn't lie.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting for me because I always like math, and that's one of the things I always said. And math doesn't lie in business, in other business before in my life that I've been. How do you say? People have bad business.
Right.
People have shown me papers, and I've seen, look, the math doesn't add up. He's not gonna lie to you. And he's like, no, but look at this and look at that. And I'm like, dude, make the math. And, so these, when you say that, kind of.
And you want to know something? May I share something with you? I'm a terrible mathematician. Mm-hmm. I didn't do well in algebra, and I flunked geometry twice. I had no interest in knowing about trapezoids or rectangles or anything else like that. Okay, so I didn't learn it. So by the 3rd time I took it, I could have taught the class. I was pretty good at it. Okay, but I didn't want to learn it. So that kind of math doesn't. But counting money, I can do that, Antonio. Can you do it? Yes, okay, I'm good at it. I even know the presidents. I know them all. In fact, I like Franklin even better than the presidents. Okay, so and you can count that. I can do that. That's what this is. So you got that. Okay, what'd you like best about it, Antonio?
I like the team part.
You ought to
I will be a better team player.
All right, you ought to join.
That's it.
Okay, what'd you like best about it, Matt?
Just all the options and how you can help people. And,
we don't make money unless you do help somebody. You have to help somebody, make a difference in their life. A or B. It's that simple. And we put it all together in an FIP for people, and we write the simple English so they can get it. Now, do they understand it all, how it goes? No! But we show them the end results. It's results first. Make sense? Erica, what'd you like best?
I like the part where we all go out to dinner on his dime. That's my favorite.
Cool.
part.
You got to come back then, because when he gets paid, then we're going to go. All right, so there you go. It's no free lunch. Now, any questions? Any questions or statements? Anything on you? Yes, ma'am.
Sure. More on the VP contract. So I know it's easy to make the deadline, but if we don't make it, do we still get paid but less than the?
Yes, absolutely. And whatever level you're at, you get paid just for doing business. And every time you reach a threshold, you get promoted. There's nobody you don't have to play politics here. You don't have to call somebody and ask it. When you earn it, you get it. There's no questions asked. That's what's so cool. There is no you got to look in the mirror. That's the only person you got to deal with. Facts and the results speak for themselves. You don't have to twist anybody's arm. There's no politics here.
So we don't have to sign like some contract saying like we gotta work for.
No. You don't sign. There's no contracts where you're obligated to anything. Here's the only thing in our business. The only thing you do have to do if you're going to do the insurance side of the business is get a license because it's required by law. If you want to do insurance, you have to have a license. Other than that, you don't need a license on the debt. You don't need a license on the utilities. You don't need a license to do the commercial loans. None of that. So, but it's fundamentally important. So we advise that you do it. And that's your license. And we give you all that information and knowledge and school and all that crap to take and pass the test. Other than that, that's it. So this is really your own business. You own it.
So what are the steps to join this team? Like how do we get trained?
You see Corey tonight. He's going to tell you exactly what to do, and you can enroll yourself. But I mean, Cody. I keep calling Corey. That's because he didn't get promoted to VP yet, so I keep calling Corey. So maybe I'll call him Cody. So see Cody, and he'll straighten out and go through what you got to do. All you got to do is enroll in the company, sign up for school, and he'll do all that stuff. We have a whole orientation we give you if you're interested. To what the next step is. And we always like to meet your loved ones because loved ones can either make or break you. If you're living with somebody at home, we got to see them. Why? Because you're going to go home and throw up on them. Oh man, the little fat guy said I can make $100,000. They're going to let you go. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. You leave. Go back where you came from. You drinking tonight? Because they don't believe it. It's their belief pattern. It's where you're coming from, so they can't see what you just saw. Let us do the work with them for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't care. A boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, other, whoever it is, wherever they are, parents. Nah. Let us talk with them for you. Yes.
Right. To be like completely honest, it does sound too good to be true.
That's why people are broke.
And the slideshow, like, it shows us the facts of why to do it, but at this point, I want to know how it's done.
Right. Exactly. That's why you sit with him and go through the process yourself. See if it works for you. If you're a product of the product, it works for everybody. Is that correct? Starts right with the butt in your chair. You're your own best testimony. If it works for you, it works for everyone. And that's where we start. Because we're not going to let you waste time. I'm not wasting my time. Yes, sir.
I remember the first couple weeks I came, like every week I would go home and I'll do my research and I'll try to find something wrong with this and I'll come and his dad did the same thing. First 2 months.
Oh, his dad, he was relentless, his father, trying to find something wrong.
I couldn't. Yeah.
So does my mom.
Oh yeah. He just wanted to. I'm gonna make that close.
So you have a license?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
We just it's a step-by-step process. And you don't have to have a license immediately because we do all you're in training.
Right.
In fact, we keep training until you say, I don't need you anymore. Okay. How cool is that? No, watch. You can't find something wrong here except for the image in the mirror. Fact. I'll prove it to you. It's just that either you're lazy and don't want to do it or it doesn't interest you. And that's okay. You still need the services. You still need to retire with dignity or you're going to work until you're dead. You still need to, you're going to want nice things. You're going to have to go buy to get to pay for things. And most of you make decisions based upon the money you don't have. Bad way to do things in life. Bad, and all of you are guilty of it in this room. You know why? Because I know how young you all Right now, and because of that, you're restricted with your income, because if you had more money, you'd be doing things different. Would you be living different if you had more money?
I still be going to school, I still be working.
I know it, that's not what I asked you. Would you live in a different place? Would you drive a different car? Would you take a different trip? Would you take them more often? Would you eat in better places? Would you have different clothes?
I don't know, I don't think so.
Try to get more money while it's watching. Right?
Wanna give it to me?
No, I'm gonna. You're gonna be my reality TV girl. We'll film her before, and then we're gonna film her after. Right? You understand what I'm talking about? So you're 30. She'll fight me all the way. She's I'm 20. I'm 21. How young are you?
Young enough.
Yeah, you see. So you shouldn't want to tell that. See, she's a resistor.
Professional.
No, she's the ever ready buddy. She's just gonna do it. Okay, that's okay. I get it, and I like her. She's a little bold, little guy. She thinks I am. You know, I'm confident. I'm not cocky. There's a difference.
Fine line.
When you know what you're doing, get out of the way. See, lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'm gonna run you over. Boom! How about that, Antonio?
Bam.
All right. Now you have one more thing to do. You ready, Matthew? You better do it good, Matthew. I'm coming after you. You have to give me a nice round of applause. And we'll ask any questions for you later too. You got some good stuff going on, buddy.
Thank you.
But I don't like to see you on the hamster.
No, you gotta try.
No, I ain't gonna eat them. Because you giving this back to